Hi everyone, it's Andrew from RC, and this is the big rock shell, of course, which I think we already established is what is going to go on top of the Senton, instead of the traditional body, which is over here. So instead of the traditional, what I've done, of course, is I've put the big rock chassis components on it. I've got some new bumpers to go on the front, certainly, some 2.2 crawler tyres, which have already been tested and seem to work fine. So this is all about trying to keep the mud from the wheels on the outside instead of on the inside, and filling up the body, the chassis tub with filth. So the first thing I'm doing is, there's no decals supplied for the masking. Those are the decals that came with the shell. Just so I don't go too far down a path I can't reverse out of, I am going to mask off the interior of the windows. So if I do choose to put an interior of some sort into this, I will at least be able to peel off the outside stickers and have clear windows still. Okay, so let me get on with that and we'll catch up next. Right, well, okay, that wasn't fun. Never is it? Masking, what a nightmare. So I've got bits of tape, I've got, yeah, I mean, it's just stuff everywhere. Anyhow, look, scrag ends. So what I'm gone for here, I'm hoping to do a two-tone is what I'm after. So let me just pop it the right way up. So the idea is that I'm going to have silver at the front, silver starting here, and then these stripes, it's going to kind of fade away. So you get end of the main silver, thick, medium, thin silver. The back is going to be a kind of gunmetal grey that the Molar was done in, which is almost black but not quite. So it's like a very dark grey metallic. So that's going to be here, and it's going to obviously have a thick stripe of grey, medium stripe of grey, thin stripe of grey. So it kind of balances out. These two thin stripes obviously aren't the same width because I had to freehand that one. Across the top is going to be green. So the idea is that this panel here in the bonnet and this on the roof is green. What I'm to really, you know, make myself work for a living, the green is going to be interrupted by the grey bands, not the silver bands. So the silver is going to basically, the green's always going to be on top of the silver. That's my idea. So the green overpowers the silver across the roof, but the grey hoops continue over the green. So the masking here is quite important. The grey stripe masking is under the green mask. So I'm going to do the silver, then I'll take that strip and this big strip off, and then do the green, but these bands will still be there. So then I take the bands off, take the whole back end off, and do the dark grey over the top. I'm going to clean this up and then get spraying. Alright, so quick catch up on the paint job. Well, I've got the silver and the green on. I've had a fair amount of, not much success getting the silver to cover, as you can see by the amount of green that is coming through it. So I've got a greeny silver thing going on. And there's a fair amount of overspray as well, which I'm going to just show you how I deal with. So what I'm going to do, I mean, it is only a bash. I was half tempted just to bin the whole thing and start again. I'm just going to take some white spirit and I'm going to soften up the areas involved. Now the white spirit doesn't really wash the paint off. This Lexan paint seems quite resilient to white spirit, but it does appear to soften it. And I'm going to take my trusty cocktail stick and I'm just going to rub away at it. Now I like the cocktail stick because it's a little bit softer than using a knife or something, you know, which will obviously scratch the plastic. So, you know, I mean, I'm going to have to do a fair bit of this on the Molar, and it does come through. Even though you're going to paint over whatever remedials you're doing, you can still get the scratches and scrapes that you've had to do from repair work visible. But the cocktail stick seems to do a fairly decent job of taking off the paint, but not marking the plastic. Alrighty, so painting is done. It's gone adequately. As you've already seen, I got a lot of overspray. The silver didn't really cover very well, so there's a lot of kind of like there, a lot of green coming through on the silver, a lot of overspray that I had to clean up, and now I'm kind of discovering bits of it all the time. But you know, in the end, it's a basher, as Terry says. Now, then I have decided to do a bit hemi-stormy stuff, which was to cut the film. So I've cut the film all the way around the front, around the grille and the bumper here. This, you may remember I mentioned I've left this deeper spoiler on here, this deeper chin section. I've cut around the wheel arches all the way along here and around the back on the other side. I've done all the door seals because the stickers, it turns out, the sticker decals, which I'm going to use to start with anyway, until I decide what I'm going to do about the interior, if anything. But the window stickers are too small. Given the area I masked off, the window stickers don't fill it. So you can see all the raggedy paint edges and stuff, which is not really good. I took the inside masking off last night. Dumbass move, because I knew I had to do this painting today. So I don't know what paint I've got on the inside of the glass, but that's for later. But I took the masks off regardless, and it took away some of the paint on the inside of the shell. So that was a bit of a bummer. So for both of those reasons, I had to kind of put a black edging strip on the windscreen, and then of course that means you've got to do it on the rest of the windows for balance. So all the windows have been, you can see, maybe just make it out there. Not sure, there you go, you can see where I've cut the film around the window edges. It's a bit hard to get any light in here now, it's late at night. I've cut the bed out, so the beds had a coat of black and then lacquer as well. So okay, so I couldn't wait. It's a nice feeling. I do like doing this. I mean, it's always pretty good when you've done this on your Lexan shell and you peel off the masking layer and see exactly what it looks like. But when it's had such a paste in with black, it's even more exciting because it's like unwrapping a present again at Christmas. So far, let me try to put some light on this. So far, maybe, you know, it's worked out pretty good. You can see the edges there. There's a little bit of a black something or other there. It'll probably come off. Must have been a hole in the film. I'll whip that off with a bit of white spirit. But by and large, I mean, and I'll be honest, I'm not beating my own chest here. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. But I did most of this cutting of the film freehand with a scalpel, because there's quite a defined edge, and yeah, by the time you try to get a ruler on this and you try to cut a straight line across it, the thing's wriggling about, it's on the floor, it's upside down, it's really not working. So I basically just cut straight through, you know, relatively confidently with a scalpel. You know, one cut and that's it. You can't mess about. I did with the window edges, I should say here, all the window frames, which you'll see hopefully very shortly. I put some tape on and cut along the tape as best I could. It's not very firm tape, it's just your sort of Tamiya masking tape, but it was a bit of a guide for the knife. So, well, we'll see what that's going to look like. So I might need two hands, otherwise this thing will end up on the floor. There she is. So yeah, not too bad at all, not too bad at all. A few tiny bits around the windscreen. There's a little bit of, there's the bit I was talking about where the paint lifted inside. This really kind of sharp and steep sort of groove down here is not so clean. That's a bit messy, so I probably will make some remedial on that. But overall, as an effect, I'm liking it. So we've now got the sort of satiny matte varnish around the edges, around the window frames. Oh, nicey things, aren't they? And the door handles. The windows, as I said, they're going to have the stickers on to start with, but oh, I made one mistake. Look at that side window. And look at that one. See the difference? There's a line down that one. And a few bits of paint flakage and stuff. I masked that off. I cut the film. You can see the lines. I cut the film, and then I didn't take the film off. So the film still there, got painted, no paint on the Lexan. So that's a bit of an epic fail. I will deal with that as and when I decide to run clear windows in this. But that's not going to be straight away, so no big shakes there. But the bed's got a nice kind of matte finish compared to the side of it. There's you can see the wheel arches there. I've got a nice matte finish on them. Yeah, I'm kind of pleased. I don't know how durable it's going to be, as I say. But yeah, needs a little bit of tidying up with a cocktail stick, just to make sure some of these edges are properly sharpened off. Get rid of that little spot there. There you go. I was going to stick headlights and stuff on there, some badges. Door handles look better. I will try and run a little bit of paint into the door jamb so you can see the door join. But yeah, overall, pretty pleased. Alright, more later.